Good morning. No, it's not. It's good afternoon. It's Friday. I am just going to share this in my group. And if you come on, come on, work. Excellent. So I'm sharing it now in my group. She Connects group, which is an amazing group of amazing women. And I'm so proud that a couple of people have been a bit too frightened to come in the group and have now come in the group and can see that it's pretty cool. So if you come in, please say hello so I can see you, because the last time I did this 2 weeks ago, I couldn't see the comments, which was very annoying. So I think I can see Tracy and Caroline have come in. Hi guys, lovely to see you here. Thank you for joining me this Friday. How are you? So I wanted to talk this week a little bit about, hi Tracy, about my own journey. My hair's sticking out really weirdly there. Oh good, I'm getting some more people on. This is brilliant. I love it when I get people come on. And hello Anne, hello Gemma, say hello if you're here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my journey into changing my life. Hi Gemma. And well, starting my own business. Because the theme this week I've found when I've been talking to people, clients or prospective clients, hello Caroline, is that, hi Anne, I think it's slightly delayed, so I'm seeing them, but that's a good thing. I'm seeing the comments because last time I couldn't see the comments, so I'm just happy that I can see them. And if my eyes avert, it's because I'm looking for the comments. So I was an addictions counsellor. Oh, you're washing up again. So this is why I've strategically placed this camera and this laptop where it is, because I don't know if I dare show you the other side of the kitchen, because the washing up is on my list of things to do for today. I was an addictions counsellor at Edinburgh Hospital. And I did that whilst my son was very young, and I was a single mum, and it was a job I was very passionate about, and I loved doing it. And when I was asked to set up the service at Edinburgh Hospital, it was a real honour because I was quite young, but it was extraordinarily difficult to cover the whole hospital on my own. And as much as I loved it, and as much as I was passionate about it, and I loved meeting the people who were coming into the hospital with whatever addiction brought them into hospital, and I used to have to teach the doctors and nurses about addictions. It was a full-time job, and I was having to, at that point, put my son into breakfast club, and I was having to put him into after school club, and he was quite young. And so I would it was very stressful, and my son, who was young at the time, didn't want to get up, and then I was like forcing him to eat breakfast, and then I was like getting stressed because I was trying to get out of the house and get him to breakfast club or wherever it was, and then get across to work, park the car, run in. And I loved the job, I really did, but I loved being a mum more. And I started to feel really torn between spending time with him, being there for him, doing the job that I loved. And I think there was certain bureaucracy going on at the hospital within the NHS that I was struggling with on a personal level. Certainly lack of finances, and I needed help. I was doing that on my own, and I needed support, and I was starting to really struggle. And because I was starting to really struggle, I started to drink alcohol, in the evening. And I think I've mentioned this before in other videos, that because I was working with people who were heroin, crack cocaine, skunk, alcohol, I was normalizing at that point drinking a bottle of wine every night, most nights, I'd say. And at that point as well, I think I really stopped eating very healthily. I wasn't taking do my rounds, see people all over the hospital, sort everything out, race home. And I just wasn't taking care of myself. And at that point, I started to get slightly obsessed with exercise as well. So I don't know how I did it looking back. I mean, obviously, I was a fair bit younger. I was in my early 30s and fairly newly divorced. And it was a real struggle. I didn't have any support when my son was young from people around me. But I successfully built up at the addictions service in the hospital, and I'm immensely proud that I did that. But what I started to feel was that aside from feeling burnt out, I was feeling a pull, I was feeling a call to do something different, and I didn't know what it was, but I just started to feel very unhappy. Even though I absolutely loved working with the people, I couldn't stand the politics behind working for the NHS at the time. It may be different now, but I left a long time ago. All the paperwork I had to do, all the accountability, covering my back, and I wasn't spending enough time with the clients that I wanted to spend. And so I just started to feel a very significant level of deep unhappiness, which is why I think I started to drink to sort of block it out, and exercise like a mad lunatic. Both of those I considered for me to be numbing activities. And I just kept going. And then one day I realized that I just can't do this anymore. I just couldn't keep putting myself through this immense stress, and my son would be crying when I dropped him off in the morning and picked him up in the evening. He'd be very upset, and it was causing me an untold amount of stress, worrying about him and how he was feeling. And I think it's something that as mothers, I don't know if many people talk about it, but it's very, very stressful to be a mother, to be working, to have, I had to work. I was also looking after my father as well, who was disabled from a motorbike accident. And I just went in one day. It wasn't planned. I went in one day and just quit. I just handed my notice in to my manager. And when I'd done that, I literally walked out of her office and went and threw up. Now, I talk to people about this a lot because a lot of women feel that they're stuck in a rut. They kind of don't know what to do. They feel a calling to do something different, but they don't know what it is. And then they dread going to work, and they worry about their children. They're worrying about their sanity. They can't sleep. They're very stressed. And I can relate to all of that because I was that person, and my son never slept for the first 7 years of his life. So I was very sleep deprived. And what I want to tell you is that I felt a calling to do something different. I felt it really strongly in my bones that I was meant to be doing something different. And I didn't have a plan. And I quit. I quit my well-paid, stable job that gave me a monthly income, whether I went in or not, whether I was sick or not. I got sick pay. I got, I was highly respected, highly regarded in Addenbrooke's Hospital at the time. And all of my training was paid for. And Hi, Susie. Sorry, I've only just seen your comment. And Abigail and Karina. So if you're coming in now, say hello, hello, hello. And so where was I? Yeah, I just knew deep down that I was meant to be doing something very different. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't have a plan. And I think a lot of us, when we feel like that, we kind of stay out of fear of paying the mortgage. You know, I had a mortgage to pay, I had a child to feed, and I was doing that on my own. I didn't have any financial support from my son's father. And I just had a knowing, I just had a feeling that it was all going to be okay. And so I took the leap and I quit, and I handed in my notice and I worked it out. And then all of a sudden sort of fell into my lap doing the personal training qualification in a local gym. And it was 12 weeks long. And I got a government grant, I think a training grant, I can't remember now. And I did my 12 weeks. So for another 12 weeks, my son had to go into care, and you didn't get any bank holidays or anything like that. And I remember qualifying Christmas, I think it was 2006, as a personal trainer. And of course, no business training. I'd worked for the NHS for my whole working life up till that point. So I was in an institution, and I just had no idea how to run a business, like none. There I was, a qualified personal trainer, out in the real world. And what I want to tell you is that at that point, I just thought, I need to learn from the best. I need to make this work. And I basically researched everything I could about running a business, everything I could about kind of networking, and just kept going. Got myself a little job in Sweaty Betty, of all places, which actually I got the sack from in the end. But shh, don't tell anyone that. And I just persevered because I had a strong belief that I was meant to be doing something else. And then out of nowhere, out of no thing, I got the idea to set up the boot camps, which was originally, it was called Outfit, and it was women in the park. So I thought, there must be other women like me who have children, who have no childcare, who want to exercise. And there we were, there was me and two friends from the school with our young children doing burpees in the park, and it grew exponentially into an amazing business. And I was the first boot camp in Cambridge. I wasn't the first in the country, obviously, and I'd gotten the idea. I think they were quite popular in America, and a friend of mine called Paul Mort was running them up in Newcastle. And I just thought, what a great thing to do. And it's those moments where you get an inspired idea, i.e., in my case, to leave my job. I'm not sure that was inspired at the time, but looking back, it was completely inspired, and it was what I was meant to do. And then the idea with the boot camps to let women bring their children along and start it in the park, because at that point when I started, you didn't have to pay any park fees, but just keep following those nudges, keep following the intuition. And of course we all have fear. Of course we all have self-doubt. Of course we all have imposter syndrome, right? Like, how many of you here, and I know like we're all in different professions, feel like an imposter? Like, even I'm 46 now, and I still feel like, what the fuck am I doing? And I've been coaching and counselling for like 24 years. I was a mental health nurse, an addiction specialist. I set up the service at Adam Brooks Hospital. I built and sold a business out of nothing. And still I have those doubts, those fears, those worries, that voice, that negative, shitty gremlin voice. But behind all that, in the space between that, there's always a kinder, gentler voice saying, this is for you. This is what you're meant to be doing. You don't have to overeat. You don't have to undereat. You don't have to drink it away. There's little intuitive nudges of passion and purpose and something that you're meant to be doing. And I didn't know how many of you knew my kind of backstory. I mean, that is like a tiny snippet, because last year I sold that bootcamp business, and it was the scare, one of the, like, aside from leaving my very well paid addictions counselling job, it was scary. It was scary. But again, at that point, I just knew, I was meant to be doing something different. I was meant to be reaching more women and helping more people, and moving from Cambridge, which had been my base for so many years, and my support network and my community. And it was just, again, a deep knowing that if I took the jump, if I took the leap, if I believed in myself enough, it was going to be okay. It was all going to be okay. Hey, Tom. My goodness, how are you? Thanks, Caroline. Yeah, absolutely. Because these comments are a bit delayed, I'm not quite sure where that came in. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that, I now coach women specifically around food and alcohol. I've been pretty much doing it my whole life. And as a mental health nurse, I worked with anorexia, bulimia. My own personal experience is of body dysmorphia, face picking, alcohol, a dysfunctional relationship with myself, my body, and my face, and my abilities. Tracy's put, yeah, I'm going to keep trying to scroll up so I can see. So I absolutely know where you are, where you're coming from, who you are. And I know that you have it in you. I know that you have the strength within you to listen to that different voice, to hear something different about yourself, to know absolutely that you are a shining light, that you have extraordinary gifts that need to be seen. And if I can do it and still pay a mortgage and still bring up my son, who's now 18 and running his own little business in Corfu, amazingly, I haven't sent him Loopy, which is forever a gift. I'm forever grateful for that. I don't know. I know that you can do it. And if you want any support from someone who's been in the trenches with everything, grief, work, food, alcohol, you name it, ex-husbands, then I would love to talk to you at any time. And if you're not in my group, sorry to all the men that have come on. It's a female-only group. We have amazing tribe in there. It's very supportive. We, just accept everything and everybody. And, we talk about our mental health and our well-being and our spiritual self and our confidence. And if you want to come in, I'll post the link below. If you want to have a chat with me, I'll also post the link below. But for now, I want you to know that anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you have a little nudge, a little idea, anything that you feel you're called to do, please do it. Please do it. Because you're worth it. And I believe in you. And you are enough. And if no one tells you today, I love you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye.